on this stuff. So I keep saying Friday the 13th. Like something terrible is going to happen. Today's a good day, I think, for me to hang a mirror using a ladder while my one black cat walks past me. That's all
Gareth.
the things you should not be doing.
Gareth.
Please, can we welcome to the show, as far as one of our guests are concerned, that we've really been wanting to talk to for a long, long time. I think we're going to our guest now. It's Presley Chweneyagae joining us. Chweneyagae joining us.
Yes, there you go.
Chweneyagae. Now, the only reason I struggle with that name is because I remember watching you in Tsotsi, and I saw the surname in the credits, and I was like, how's the white guy going to get this surname right?
So simple, Chweneyagae.
Chweneyagae.
Presley, thank you so much for your time. Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
And I hear Gareth Watwas and also put Friday the 13th.
Do you believe one in superstitions?
Not really.
Not so much.
Not really. I'm more of a Christian.
Right, right.
You know, I think God by my side.
Yeah.
Things work.
Well, I want to know more about you, and we're going to get into acting and your profession, and you know, of course, what most South Africans know you as. But obviously, behind the brand, Honale Abuti, there's a son. You know, Presley also go Northwest. Take us through how you actually grew up and your background.
I grew up in Mafikeng. My grandparents are from a place called Lokale, very close to Botswana.
Yeah.
And you know, my mother, you know, my older sister, my girls, and my younger brother, my two younger brothers.
Right.
Yeah, Khao and Rabaune. Yes. So I grew up in a very simple environment, which, you know, led me to, you know, I had a choice between playing Matai Seleswepe, but then I chose to do other things, which is my acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah.
And you know, Presley, I'm asking because oftentimes when background oftentimes influences, you know, the kind of decisions you make or career choices you make. And I'm curious to know, did you grow up in a creative family? Maybe you used to, because I mean, for me, I know my mom says you always used to play Jem Eli with us when you were growing up. So you already knew that this one is going somewhere. So I'm not sure with you, did you have a background of, you know, the arts?
Yeah, sort of, because my dad is part of the band, SAPS, and I think also music influenced a lot of what I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And just while we're talking to you, Presley, I just want to bring in, because we were talking about this breakfast earlier, I want to come back to your family, Presley, about this. Just if we can bring in Jeff from Just Teddy. We try and organise something nice for our guests, when we can get nice big names, and they come in, they spend a bit of time with us every Friday as well. So we want to try and make it special from them. So Jeff, once again, joining us from Just Teddy. And this is two, I always said the tea.
Right.
Are you a tea person, Presley, or a coffee person?
I'm a green tea person.
You're a green tea person. Well, this is going to be perfect for you then. I'm afraid unless it's got coffee beans in it, I don't really drink it. Jeff is still like, one day we're going to make Gareth classy.
Sure.
But just while Jeff is doing that, he's going to tell us what he's made us for breakfast. So you spoke about your dad in the band. Younger family members, are they looking at you? Thank you, Tumza. Are they looking at you going, I want to do what Presley is doing? Or do you, like we do in our careers, going, no, don't go into journalism, go get a real job?
Right.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is my son, Preston, because, you know, he is really interested in music. And I always say to him, you must at least try and finish school first, because, you know, we need that background of a thing in education so that we don't die paupers.
Yeah. You don't die paupers.
So do you
is it
advise?
bad?
Yeah, actually, that's a very fair question.
Pardon?
Is it bad?
To be
I don't know.
Money
Just based on experience, you know, there's been a lot of traumatizing stories based on that, where a lot of people that were looking up to ended up, you know, passing on without them having a strong foundation in terms of family and legacy. And yes.
Let's just bring, let's just bring Jeff in quickly, because just remind us what we're eating. The reason I'm worried...
This is so beautiful.
It is beautiful, Jeff. Well done. From Just Teddy. I understand... I think Jeff almost smacked me earlier. I called it a pancake.
Yeah?
He almost threw me off the balcony.
Okay, you did that.
It's not a pancake, it's a...
It is a crepe.
A crepe, oh, okay. But
there were witnesses. I could have never...
Yeah, I was on camera. You couldn't throw me off the balcony.
Get away with that.
So what are we eating? Because I heard you mention salmon earlier, so I need to avoid that.
So on our lovely tier stand, our top tier is our beautiful French patisserie. We have a selection of tarts. You have a baklava cheesecake there, a beautiful decadent chocolate tart with some macaron, a pistachio, and a salted caramel. Then your bottom stand is the savoury savoury section. It is your little petite sandwiches. On the left is your beautiful salmon bagel, New York style bagel with cream cheese, capers and beautiful smoked salmon. And then on the right we've got a lovely roasted chicken brioche bun with sun-dried tomato pesto. And then talking of the crepes, that is a beautiful pistachio cinnamon sugar crepe with beautiful golden honey on the side.
This is where we have to go.
Yeah, I'm drooling already.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Jeff is trying to get us fed.
Jeff doesn't want to bring me one because I was rude about his pancakes. So he doesn't want to bring me a, what did you call this tray? What? What's this tray called?
there's a name for the tray.
This fancy tray
It is
thing?
a high tea stand
high tea
tray.
stand. Okay, it wasn't that fancy. I was trying to be fancy. It wasn't that fancy. Okay, while I get my bird cage. So can we just come back, Presley, talk about so the industry, though. You were talking about some people dying in old age. We actually did interviews on this, getting to the end of a very illustrious visual career. And I think there's a perception, isn't there, that if you're on TV, you're in cinema, you have it made. But that's not always the case.
Yes, it's not an easy industry. And that's why you should always try and separate the character from the man, you know, which is very important. And I must say that I'm quite saddened that a lot of people in the entertainment industry are committing suicide, which is sometimes might come with a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves as entertainers. So the more we do motivation, the more we understand that mental health is quite important, and then the industry will get better.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is important because I also saw the memorial service of one of the young actors, you know, from Gomora. Quite sad indeed. Is there any way, do you think, given that you've been in this industry for so long, you have jumped so many hurdles, gone through so much, I can imagine yourself, survived. Is there any way you think we can resolve this? In any way that we can address this, whether it's from government, from, you know, the industry itself, how we can pull together and ensure that this doesn't happen?
I think, you know, the entertainment industry is not a dependent industry on itself. So the more that we have people like psychologists maybe attending our sets or talking to artists, and because our work is quite mental, that maybe might help a lot in terms of support, like I said earlier on, in terms of, you know, medical health.
Absolutely.
Because it is mental health awareness as well that we're busy focusing on at the moment as well. Now, when we just go back to your earlier years, Tsotsi, of course. How do you feel? By the way, please feel free to eat. Jeff didn't bring it in for free.
Sure. Don't worry.
You didn't just do it just so it can look pretty. It does.
Jeff done such a wonderful job. I'm used to go have scope and.
Well, this is what exactly.
That's also my kind of thing.
I was looking for a magwenya with some chips and bacon. That's what I was looking for in the morning. Thank you, Jeff, from Just Teddy. Is it always unfair? I've always wondered because you've had some massive roles, but Tsotsi is the one I think everyone automatically sees you. I mean, I can still hear you. I can see you in the movie. Do you get offended when someone says, it's the Tsotsi guy, as opposed to the rest of the work you've done? Do you ever go, it's like, guys, I've actually done other things?
I think, you know, it will remain something that I have in my mind for many years, and something that I have in my heart for many years, because it's the one that introduced me to the industry. It's the one that gave me an opportunity to travel the world. And so people will call you Tsotsi, some of them will call you Cobra, is Mr. Massive himself. And I guess the point is to always respect your audience, that they will always know you in terms of different characters, but Tsotsi will always remain the most special.
And we've had conversations with different actors who have a problem with being typecast. Some say they're not stretched enough, you know, to explore their creativity and, you know, their talent. Have you encountered the same problem where you feel like, I'm typecast as one thing, I want to play another character, and you haven't received that opportunity, or were you fortunate enough to actually do a couple of, you know, characters that explore your talent and stretch you?
I think in terms of theatre work, I've been quite stretched to play different characters. I mean, I played a character that was actually based on Julius Malema.
You did?
And people keep on saying to me, I look like him. So
now I see the resemblance. Firstly, you shouldn't have. Because ultimately, I'm just like, okay, now I need to see this.
Now you've led us there. Tell us about this one.
One day, I think when he gets a biography, it will be a great opportunity, because I personally think that is an interesting character in South Africa.
Does Julius not?
No, I'm not sure if he knows, but I know.
He knows now.
He knows now.
Julius Malema knows now, by the way. And so when it now comes to moving away from the big screen,
Yeah.
what do you prefer? Because obviously we had Tsotsi and then The River, very well-known local
Yes,
series as
Cobra.
well. How different is that? Do you miss the sparkle of the big screen? Do you prefer the small screen? Some people don't like small screens. They want to be on the big screen.
Yeah.
What do you prefer? Or does it not matter to you?
It took me a long time to understand a long-term kind of project, because I used to do like at least 2 or 3 films a year and a lot of theater. So this was actually my longest commitment.
Yeah.
And I must say that I've really enjoyed myself, and I'm very grateful to my producers, Gwydion and Patu, for giving me an opportunity to be on the show at least for the past 3-4 years.
Yeah, and we really enjoy your character. I mean, every time I see you as Cobra in your element as a big brother with your issues, or the character's issues with your baby mama and your love interest, it's really interesting how you maneuver, of course, different roles as a brother, as a business person or somebody who saw an opportunity with a scheme. And I just want to ask, before we go to a break, how interesting it was playing Cobra. And also, do you see similarities or differences? Was it a fun, character to play? Do you miss him? Or do you have difficulty getting out of Cobra's element when you're not, of course, on set?
Cobra is a very fantastic character that I'm really enjoying. And, the beret, sometimes when I get to Pretoria, I get home, I still think I'm wearing it. So it's been quite fantastic. And my colleagues, obviously, they support me because I can't be independent.
Right.
Ensemble work really makes the character more interesting.
And if you've got any questions for Presley, please, while we're enjoying this breakfast, I'm trying to eat as classy as I can.
Of course.
On air. I mean, I normally wear my
I know how you
Yeah,
eat.
you know how I
know.
eat. I normally wear my food. I look like a takeaway by the time we finished having lunch as well. But if you have any questions for Presley, please tweet us. We'd love to hear from you, whether it's his career now, early career. Tweet us at ENC. We're going to come back to our guest and our breakfast, Presley, in a little while from now. Let's take a look at your markets this morning.